Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at the Boston Celtics and going over whether or not I think they should look into trading for point guard Damian Lillard. But before we get into that topic, just a quick question for those of you viewing. I want you to put your GM hat on and tell me, if you were the Boston Celtics, what would you offer the Portland Trail Blazers in exchange for Damian Lillard? Comment down below using your GM skills. But getting straight into it, I made a couple other videos on teams of whether or not they should pursue Damian Lillard, and the answer is pretty similar for most teams. I mean, Damian Lillard is literally the second best point guard in the league. You can make the argument he's the first. I mean, he's second behind Steph, but I'm not going to argue against you. I think he's that good. It's 1A and 1B between those guys at the point guard position. So there really isn't a team out there that should just say, nah, we're good without Dame, unless you're the Golden State Warriors. They're literally the one team that you can't upgrade at point guard or Damian Lillard. So of course the Celtics need to consider it. But there are a couple of things holding them back, in my opinion. The biggest one is that Brad Stevens, a guy that I think was a pretty good head coach for the Boston Celtics, who is now in the front office, his first year in the front office, being in that GMC, I don't know if he wants to make this big of a blockbuster move right away. You could look at it one of two ways. Yes, he wants to make a big Yes, he wants to make a big blockbuster move, a move that Danny Ainge may have not made, and he wants to put the Celtics on the map and help the Celtics make his championship run. Or B, he says, that's too risky. I don't want to go big or go home right away my first year, and that's just too risky to put that type of statement on my GM resume right now today. I don't want to make that too big of a move. Or like I said before, he wants to go all in, put all his eggs in one basket, bet on black, whatever it is, bet on red. He wants to gamble the championship, and you can't say either way is wrong or right. It's hard being in that position, being your first year in the front office, having a lot to prove, going from head coach to GM. No one really expected that. I don't know if he wants to take that big of a risk. That's a question he has to ask himself, but that is something that may hold me back personally. Another thing is, I think the Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown thing is too tied together. I think Celtics and Boston, I think they're set on keeping that duo together. However, I don't know if that can be pulled off. But a couple things that go in their favor is, if the Celtics are willing to come off a guy like Jaylen Brown, they might have one of the better trade packages that the Trailblazers could look at. There's some other couple big names out there that teams could throw at the Trailblazers. Maybe if the Heat want to throw in Bam Adebayo. The Knicks could offer a pretty large package. Maybe they won't have as big as a star name like a Jaylen Brown or Bam Adebayo, but they could probably offer a lot more well-rounded players. The Lakers, if they want to throw out a big name like Anthony Davis, the Ben Simmons 76ers trade, possibly the Mavericks, they want to make a move like Kristaps Porzingis. I feel like Jaylen Brown stands up pretty well against his competition as far as big name trade bait. Of course, Anthony Davis would be at the top of that, but after that, I think Jaylen Brown or Bam Adebayo would be the best next big name that the Blazers could get in return for Damian Lillard. So that is in their favor to the Celtics. However, of course, coming off of Jaylen Brown would hurt them. But to me, if you look at the Celtics last year, they hung in there 5 games to the Nets. If Jaylen Brown is healthy, they're not going to win the series. No, but did they go 6 games? Probably. If you throw in Damian Lillard instead of Jaylen Brown, the best point guard in the league, do you maybe now go 7 games? And I'm not saying you'd win it, but once you're in a game 7, it's anyone's game at that point. It's anyone's series at that point, possibly. And that is why you have to at least consider moving off of Jaylen Brown. I know I was getting a little speculative there, getting a little theoretical, but I'm just saying, Damian Lillard is a guy worth coming off of Jaylen Brown for. It's not that big of a risk. Damian Lillard is as committed and as consistent as it can come. To me, a realistic trade package would be between maybe Jaylen Brown, maybe Tristan Thompson, a couple first-round picks. It depends. Do they want to, give up Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown, but that now they only have to give, maybe 1 or 2 first-round picks? Or do they want to give up Jaylen Brown, keep Marcus Smart, but now they got to give up 3 or 4 first-round picks? Or the third option, you want to, no matter what, we're not moving out Jaylen Brown or Jayson Tatum, and now we'll give off Marcus Smart, but now we got to give 6 first-round picks. And I know I'm getting a little far, but, Marcus Smart, Tristan Thompson, I don't know if they're looking into, moving Robert Williams or Al Horford. I believe between the 3, Robert Williams, Al Horford, and Tristan Thompson, they're not set on keeping all 3 by any means. But if you don't give off Jaylen Brown, you're going to have to just really dig into your bench, dig into your draft picks. And I don't know what's more valuable to the Celtics. It's up to them. Is it more value to have Jaylen Brown, yet 0 draft capital for the future and 0 well-rounded bench players? Or is it more worth it to lose Jaylen Brown, yet we still have a decent amount of draft capital to work with? Our future isn't completely lost in the draft. We still have some guys we like coming off the bench that's another question for Brad Stevens and the Celtics team. Which route do they want to go? So there's a lot of variables to consider, no doubt. To me, I'd love to see if they could get a big three between, Damian Lillard, Jaylen Brown, and Jayson Tatum. And then on the front court, you still got a guy like Al Horford. Is he this great big man? No. But is he a guy you can be reliant on when you got the other three to attract all the attention? Yeah, I think so. And Robert Williams, if you could keep him, he's a project, but he's improving by an exponential amount, in my opinion. That's a pretty solid team if you throw in an offer like Tristan Thompson, like Marcus Smart, maybe Romeo Langford. Maybe you come off of, I think they would come off of a Robert Williams if they were able to keep Jaylen Brown. I'm sure they're willing to come off of anything. But theoretically, if they could offer, like I said, Robert Williams, Langford, Thompson, Marcus Smart, you got some defenders, you got some scores in there, and 4 first-round draft picks, so that's a lot of players, and you're getting a lot of capital. That might be something the Blazers are interested in to an extent. It'd be hard for them because I don't want to say that would hand the Celtics, the championship, because they're still going to be good teams. The Bucks got a big three in the making. The Nets got a big three if it's healthy. But I'm just saying, I don't know if the Blazers want to just hand him over for a couple of bench players and some picks. I don't know. The Blazers going to have to realize they're not going to get the same exact value for the Celtics, but they at least want something, and I think that's why it's going to be extremely hard for Jaylen Brown to not be in the the trade offer. If they're willing to come off of, again, the 3 options that I see is coming off of Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart. That would really limit the amount of draft capital they get or have to lose. But, also then you're betting a lot on Damian Lillard and Jayson Tatum to get it done alone, kind of a big 2 rather than a big 3. Big 3 is needed nowadays, LeBron and Anthony Davis, that's a small exception because they're both 2 top 10, arguably top 6 players when Anthony Davis is fully healthy. Everywhere else, you need a big 3. Steph, Clay, Draymond, Chris Paul, Booker, Ayton, Giannis, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday. You need a big 3 nowadays, and I don't know if a big 2 of Tatum and Dame could get it done alone, and that's why they might be set on keeping a Marcus Smart or Jayson Tatum to back them up as a 3rd option. I don't know. We'll just have to see. If I'm the Celtics, I'm definitely making a phone call. I'm definitely making a trade. I'm definitely seeing what I could do to get Damian Lillard the 2nd best point guard in the league to help Jayson Tatum get to that next level and make a championship run. But you guys tell me, where do you see the trade package becoming? Referring back to the question today, if you were the GM, if you were Brad Stevens, what are you offering the Portland Trail Blazers if you were the Boston Celtics? As always, and of course, guys, I truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you for watching 2-Minute Warning.